So yeah, I noticed a surprising lack of Ciceronian speeches on YouTube, so I decided I wanted to put several up myself, so that if someone like me were to be looking for Ciceronian speeches, they'd have ones to hear. So this one is called Against Verres, and it's Verres one, and it's against a governor who had abused his power. Jurors! It seems that at this crisis of our republic, it is not a human, but a divine plan that has handed you the very thing you should hope for. A unique opportunity to dismiss the hatred of our class and the infamous reputation of our courts. These days one can hear everywhere, and not just among the Roman people, but even among the foreign tribes, the comment that our current courts will never convict a rich man no matter how guilty he may be. This opinion damages the Republic and endangers you. Right at this very crisis of our class and our courts, when there are men standing by who attempt to inflame the hatred of the Senate with their speeches at assemblies and with their laws, a defendant, Gaius Verres, has been charged, and although everyone already considers him condemned because of his career and his deeds, he is as good as acquitted. To quote his own boast, because of his enormous wealth, jurors, cheered on by the hopeful Roman people, I undertook to act in this case, not to increase the hatred of our class, but to help you fight against the infamous reputation that affects us all. I am prosecuting a man whose case will enable you to win back the now banished good opinion of the courts, to return to the good graces of the Roman people, and to make amends with foreign nations. I am prosecuting a man who was an embezzler of the treasury, the tormentor of Asia and Pamphylia, the looter of Rome's legal system, and the curse and canceller of Sicily. If your verdict is honest and matches your solemn oath as jurors, you will retain the authority which should be yours. But if the wealth of that person shatters all regard for your oath and for truth, I shall gain this. It will be clear that the defendant had jurors and the prosecutor a defendant, but the Republic did not get an honest verdict. Although Gaius Verres set many traps up for me on land and sea, some I escaped by keeping my eyes open, and others I parried through energetic service of my friends. I shall confess to you that I never felt that I was running so many dangerous risks, nor was as terribly afraid as I am now right here in court. Though they trouble me greatly, I am not so disturbed by the expectations raised by my prosecution and the gathering of this huge crowd as I am by his evil plot. The plot he laid for me, for all of you, for our Praetor Manius Glabrio, the Roman people, our allies, foreign tribes, our class, and even the good name of the Senate, all at one and the same time. For he never stops repeating that the only men who have furtively stolen enough just for themselves should be afraid. But he openly made off with enough to satisfy a great number of people, and adds, for good measure, that nothing is so sacred it cannot be corrupted. Nothing so well guarded money cannot capture it. If he were as secretive in his actions as he is reckless in his efforts, perhaps he would have deceived me at some time or somehow. But it turns out quite nicely that his exceptional recklessness was combined with incredible stupidity. He made his plans and hopeful efforts to corrupt this court as transparent as his thievery. Once only, he says, he was scared, when I first formally indicted him. When he was freshly, although it was no fresh unpopularity and infamy, but one of old and long standing that he felt the heat of, arrived from his province, he hit an inconvenient time to the corrupt court. So when I asked for a brief time to go to Sicily to make inquiries, he found someone who would ask for a 2-day shorter period to make inquiries in Actia. But the aim was not for the investigator to achieve the same result with his diligence and hard work that my labor and sleepless nights should help me attain. The Achaean investigator never even made it to Brundiusum, I covered all of Sicily in 50 days, and as a result, I became so familiar with the evidence and injuries of all the people and individuals involved that it was clear to everyone that he sought his investigator not to prosecute someone, but to take up my time slot. Here is what that absolutely brazen-faced lunatic is thinking. He understands that I am so prepared and equipped with evidence for this trial that I shall nail him with his thefts and crimes, not just in your hearing, but in everyone's sight. He sees that many senators are witness to his reckless behavior. He sees many of his equestrian class crowding around. In addition, there are Roman citizens and allies here whom he has greatly injured. He sees also that many important embassies authorized by their people from the communities friendliest to us have assembled here. Although this is the case, his opinion of all decent men is so low, he considers the senatorial courts so ruined and corrupt that he repeats endlessly in public that there was good reason he was greedy for money, since his own experience is that only money gives one such great protection. He adds that he bought time itself for his own trial, not an easy thing, so he would be able to buy the rest more easily afterwards, and sail out of the path of the oncoming storm, even though he was not able to evade the blast of the criminal charge. If he placed his hopes, well, I cannot say in his case, in some honorable defense or someone's eloquence or influence, he would certainly not be corralling or netting out all this quarry. He would not look down despisingly on the senatorial class and pick at a whim a senator who he would find himself a defendant and would come to trial while Verres was preparing what he needed for his defense. I can easily see what his hopes and plans are in this situation. I am not, however, able to comprehend what he honestly believes can happen with this praetor and this jury. But I understand one thing, and the Roman people agreed with me, that the original jury was challenged, that his hopes of safety consisted of relying entirely on his money to protect him, thinking that defense was lost and nothing else can help. There is no talent so immense, nor orational skill so fluent, that it could defend his career on any front, a career which everyone knows stands long convicted and condemned by his many vices and crimes. I shall pass over the stains and disgraces of his youth. What else did his quaestorship, the first step in public career, consist of except his own quaestorship, own quaestor, robbing Gaius Corbo of public funds, except fleeing and betraying a consul, except deserting an army, abandoning a province, and violating the close relationship forged by the lot and its oath. His time as a lieutenant was a disaster for all Asia and Pamphylian province, where he plundered many homes, more cities, and all shrines. Then he revived his old ways and repeated his course to Dolblia's great harm. Verres, his deputy and acting quaestor, and Verres' wrongdoing brought him hatred. And then he did not just desert Dolbia, but deliberately attacked and betrayed him. His time as city praetor saw holy temples and public works ransacked. At the same time, in his administration of justice, he awarded and arbitrarily gave away the possessions of decent men in defiance of all precedent. To Capitol, he erected many massive monuments to his personal vices in the province of Sicily, a place he so harassed for 3 years and destroyed so much of that. Not even now we cannot hope to restore it to its former condition. Even many years under honorable governors could not even partially achieve that. When he was governor, the Sicilians did not have their own laws, or sentence decrees, or even the rights all people naturally possess. Everyone in Sicily now has only whatever escaped the notice of this ravenous, sex-mad man, or proved more than he would swallow. No case was judged for 3 years unless at his agreements. No one's father or even grandfather left him an inheritance in terms so watertight that Verres did not arbitrarily award it to someone else. New, perverse rules squeezed countless sums of money from the resources of those who farmed public land. Our most faithful allies were treated like enemies. Roman citizens were crucified like slaves. The guiltiest individuals used their money to get him to set them free. Whoa! Without hearing their cases, he condemned and exiled very honorable and unimpeachable men who were not even at their own trials. He threw open Alright, so that's going to be all I'm going to say now, because I have a 15-minute limit, and even this has only been 10 minutes, I won't be able to get through the entire speech, so I'll make another video. Alright then.